What up, what up, what up? Can y'all see me? Am I live? I know y'all see me now. Oh, you're gonna 8:30 Mountain Standard Time. Dad with a phone and co-host. But my co-host ain't here yet. So I just sent her the link like 3 minutes, probably less than that, probably 15 minutes ago. I ended up doing yoga with my wife before this podcast and it ran long. So I just sent her the link. So she's going to have to check her email. Then she'll come in and bomb. She's going to be right into the middle of you brutals. So, but you left Facebook at CS on Facebook. Am I not on Facebook? I should be on Facebook and YouTube right now. Who knows? I might have got bumped. Everybody's on YouTube tonight. Oh, y'all left the Facebook group. I'm glad you did some yoga. I'm glad I did some yoga too before this thing. So tonight we have Courtney. Courtney is officially 1 minute late. What happens if you're late to a regular interview? We know you're going to be late to a podcast every now and then because that's just how people roll. Late. I better message her. She might have messaged me and said, I'm going to say I sent link via email. I did. She's like, oh, she didn't get the email. She's like, did you send it? I did. Yes, hopefully. Hopefully. She didn't get it. Yes. This is my fault then. I didn't check and see if she got the link. Dang it. I gotta freaking send this. I can message her. Let me see. Invite, copy to clipboard, Facebook. I'll just send it this way too, so she can go on the Facebook because she's in the Facebook. She didn't get the link. She's gonna blame me, and it was, I guess, my fault. I sent it late. I'm gonna send it to you right now. Oh, message inbox. See, now I'm starting. I didn't want to do that. I hate being the slacker in the group here. Oh, let's see. Maybe she'll get that. Bam. She didn't get the email. Somebody got an email that they were like, hey, where am I supposed to go? I thought I sent it to you. Invite. Default email. She got this long email address. How about, no, I don't want that mail. Force quit that. Crap. If y'all are just joining, I'm supposed to have a co-host, but this co-host here didn't send it to the right email address, I guess. And so is that the one? Yeah, that's the one. Boom. Send it again. Maybe. I ain't gonna sit here. I'll send it again. Y'all know y'all be playing. It's my fault. Holla. Dad with the phone, you can always drop a link in the chat. I don't know if she's in chat. She might be in chat. Just got it. Bam. So she'll be here in a second. She's linking up her computer right now. She's trying to get it all worked up. She's nervous. She thought she didn't get it. I thought I didn't send it. Now we both got it. This is good. Little technical difficulties never hurt nobody, because if you're going to go into the web podcast business, you're going to have them. They're going to come right in the middle of your show. Your show's going to crash, and you're going to be like, what the heck? I just don't like the color of my camera right now. I feel like I'm dark. But guess I could flip a light around, get my bald head, my angel's going. Casey's in the house. Watch out. Yeah, I ain't dropping no chat. I ain't dropping a link in the chat. I'll be having to delete people. So she got her instructions and her email. That I know for sure. So we're good to go. You'll all be here. So you'll be fine. Crazy day today. We could talk about anything. We could really literally talk about anything today. So today's going to be an easy conversation. We'll find out about Courtney, see what Courtney's been up to, why she likes this thing, what she wants to do, all that stuff. And then boom, drop the curtain, maybe close the curtain behind you. That'll probably keep me safe too from getting busted. Oh, see, look at all you guys. Look at all you kids telling me how to do this real quick. Get me all looking perfect. Thank you, Maui Girl 89. Jack's mom is not us, babe. It's those lurking in the shadows. Oh, keep me from getting in trouble, huh? I ain't worried about those lurking in the shadows. Let them lurk. They all be lurking here tonight. Y'all seen who's been lurking around these podcast shows lately? They all come lurking, trying to get a little something. All I know is I got another phone call at probably going to have to make that around 9:30. So, Courtney, she going to blame me, but we'll see how many emails my email said she got. What? Casey's sitting there. Casey's putting her blonde wig on right now. She's going to come in as Courtney. I'm waiting for someone to troll me on this thing, where one of those people like troll me all the way through the process, and then they show up and like it's some freaking fat dude naked that I have to bring on here. So they can't get enough. They think if they don't show up, I won't do a podcast. Damn, I got material coming out my ass. I got a thumb drive full of stuff I could show y'all right now, but I'm not going to. I do. I could drop something on y'all, though. Hey, I'm going to be talking to... Oh, somebody just showed up. Courtney just showed up. Can you hear me? You can hear me, but I can't hear you yet. But when I bring you in, I'm bringing you in live right now. So here we go.
I had to download Chrome, and I don't know what happened.
Oh, you had to download a software to open up the link?
Yes.
I'm sorry. That was my fault.
It's okay.
No, you asked me about that earlier. You're like, do I need to download anything on my computer? I was like, nah, it's an internet link. Don't worry about it. So you asked me. So
it's okay. It's okay.
Well, how are you doing?
Good.
Been
excited about today, talking true crime and talking dad with the phone. It's a big deal.
Is it a big deal for you?
It's a big deal. It's exciting.
Listen to you. You sound all clear. You got a nice camera, got a little microphone. What's up?
Yes. Got the whole new setup for this. I had to get prepared. This is the first time I've ever done any kind of webcam, mic, podcast, anything. So I'm a complete newbie, but I'm very excited.
I'm going to help you then. So is your camera something you can move around a little bit?
Yes.
Put your head at the top of the screen a little bit more.
Okay.
Uh-oh. We'll give her a second. I just don't want to feel like I'm looking down at you. And like we could be both, you know what I'm saying? Eye
Let me
level.
see. Hold on.
You're good. Oh, you just covered it up.
It's falling. Hold on.
She's like, I'm dropping it. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you making me move my camera?
Why did it go off?
Oh, there, you're better. That's better. You're good.
Okay. Maybe it's not even using that one. I think it might just be using the one on my phone.
Oh,
Or I mean my computer.
Yeah, that's what it is. No worries. No
Okay.
worries. I thought you maybe had a separate camera, so I was gonna have you.
I do. It was sitting there, but I don't, and it worked earlier, but I don't know. I'm learning
No
all of
worries.
it.
You're good to go. You're good to go. Hey,
I'm a
so
mess.
tell
Good
us
Lord.
about yourself. Tell us about yourself. Where are you from? Who are you? Why do you do this? What do you like about true crime?
So I'm from Texas. Originally born in Texas, then grew up in Virginia and Connecticut, and then back to Texas. So graduated from Kingwood High School and down in Houston area, just north of Houston. And then we moved up to Dallas, Fort Worth area about 11, 12 years ago.
Gotcha.
So that's where we've been now. And I work in the medical field. So I like to use all of my medical knowledge with the true crime world.
When did you like, what was the case, or when did you start following like some true crime, or have you watched some shows? Was it on TV, that kind of stuff?
I want to say it was back when what intrigued me was the John Benet Ramsey.
Okay.
And then after that, like Casey Anthony, Jodi Arias. And so though I like watching court hearings from like beginning to end.
Okay.
So the recent ones I enjoyed were like Mark Severs and the Joseph and Jennifer Rosenbaum case. Have you heard of that one?
I haven't. Tell me about that one.
They were a couple who couldn't have children. He actually has cystic fibrosis. So, and a lot of times when you have cystic fibrosis, you're unable to have kids. So they were trying, but it wasn't working out. So she grew up in a like foster home.
Okay.
And one of the girls that she grew up with in the foster home had children, but had drug and alcohol issues. And then Jennifer actually ended up fostering two of her girls, and then was abusing the little one to where the little one actually died.
Oh,
and
crazy.
Yeah. And she was actually becoming an attorney.
So she was doing this and she was becoming an attorney.
Yes.
That's wild. How did that end up?
They're both in prison. She's in for life. He is, I want to say like 50 or 60 years. But also when you have cystic fibrosis, your lifespan is, dramatically decreased. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And hopefully, I mean, people who have that disease, they need a lot of care to help their lungs. And unfortunately, I don't know how the prison systems work with that actual process. Like,
if they're diagnosed with whatever, so if it's cystic fibrosis or whatever it is, they maybe get moved to a medical facility, but a medical prison where they can treat it. They're not going to have the best treatment, but they're not going to have the worst treatment either. So it's not, it's, they're gonna treat it, or they're not,
Right.
and then you don't hear about it and the guy dies and it is what it is. But that's crazy. So how long have you been watching Dad with the Phone?
Since your Patrick Frazee case.
Okay, since the Patrick Frazee case.
Yeah. I want to say probably it's been within like the last year.
Yep. Well, I mean but I've only started, the last year on the whole Dad with the Phone stuff. So yeah. And that actually, with that, Patrick Frazee, Crystal Lee Kinney goes back into court on Tuesday of this week for her sentencing. So that's going to be a It's going to be a fun
Gosh, she
Tuesday.
got off so easy, didn't she?
Yeah, she got off easy, as even if she gets the maximum, which is crazy.
I know.
So it's one of
I
those things
know.
where, and I actually don't even think she'll get the maximum.
I don't either.
I don't know how they're going to add the aggravated, because the way that the aggravated law is written, she's only been charged with one crime, and that's tampering with evidence of a cell phone. And so for her to charge the aggravated on top of that, there's some speculation that she would have had to destroy the cell phone inside Kelsey's house. And so since it wasn't done inside her house, and even in the court system, we know that it was destroyed. They testified under oath that it was destroyed up in Idaho. I don't know how they're going to add that aggravated, because they don't look at the overall crime. They can only look at her crime.
Right.
They're not looking at what they charged Patrick with.
Right.
So, but it's up to the judge, and the judge can dig through case law and a judge can probably make something up to throw that aggravated on there. Just be like, yes, I feel under this law, I'm legally able to do that. So we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting because they could tell her to just go to probation. You're going to get your probation.
Right.
So it'll be wild.
I wonder how that's going to affect her nursing license, if it even will.
Well, if you have a nursing license, it's under my impression that
felony,
right? It's a felony.
Okay.
It's still a felony. So if she has a felony, she shouldn't have a nursing license anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Well, what does that mean? I mean, can you still be like an in-home nurse?
No.
Or like an in-home aide?
I don't think so. I mean plus with her reputation, who would want her?
Well, you'll be amazed, because I'm telling you, I think they're gonna say the domestic. They're gonna go down the domestic road. They're gonna say, she was in this abusive relationship. I wouldn't even doubt if she says he beat me or he abused me. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So tell us more about yourself. Tell us something that you don't tell anybody about yourself. Just tell all these people watching real quick.
I know. Let out all the dirty secrets. Let me think. Well, I'm a mom. I've been married like 18 years now. I have a 21-year-old who just got married. I have an 11-year-old, both boys. So I'm a mom of boys. I have no girls, unfortunately, but one day, I'm hoping for that grandbaby girl. And so I run a couple of businesses on the side. I run a home decor company, and I run a glass etching business. So yeah, it's exciting times.
So do you actually do the glass etching, or is it something you
I do it by hand. My son had come this past October in town and was talking about how he wanted a certain kind of tray, and I thought he was talking about some kind of a end table tray, but no, he was talking about something else. And so he lives in Ohio right now with his wife. And he said, well, I had made them this little heart glass etched tray, or not tray, but just like a little dish I had found. And it was the first time doing it. He said, it would be really cool if you could make these trays. And so I said, well, okay, I'll do it. So I've been etching away. I'm with my Dremel and have my little light on, and I just, he tells me what he likes, and, so you can check out Script Glass on Instagram.
Script Glass on Instagram. Get that plug in there.
Yeah, we've gotten a couple of YouTubers that we've been talking to, and we're making some glass trays for them. It's really exciting. So yeah, it's a new adventure. I'm always up to something new. I've had antique booths. I'm always dabbling. I've had Etsy stores. I've done tons of painting and home decor and remodeling. And so Yeah. So when this came up, I was actually doing a project on the floor of my living room one
Okay.
night, and I was listening to one of your old podcasts, and I was telling my husband as I was doing like this home decor project, I said, "This is what I should do. This right here." He's like, "Oh, okay." After 18 years of marriage and he knows like how I've been, he's super supportive, thank goodness, because
Oh
who
yeah,
knows?
you definitely have to have a supportive spouse if you're gonna do this.
Oh yeah, yeah. And he knows I'm always one that's reaching, and trying to push forward. And I mean, like one day I said, I'm going to hop on Pinterest and I'm going to learn how to build a deck in the backyard. And so then I went up to Home Depot and Lowe's, and I mean, got out there this summer in July, and I was like, I'm going to build it for 4th of July weekend, and knocked out building a big deck out in the backyard.
You did this all by yourself?
Yes. Yes.
This is awesome. This
Yes,
is
I'm like
awesome.
a home decor crime junkie, like lumberjack timber building, girl in the healthcare field.
Do you have headphones on?
Life support. I'm your girl.
Do you have headphones on?
No.
You don't have any headphones? Do you have
No.
headphones there?
Yes.
Can you put them on?
Yeah.
I think they're getting an echo from me playing back in your microphone.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So like when I'm talking through.
Oh, maybe I should move this.
Well, you don't have to move.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's just hitting you like you have speakers on, right?
Yeah.
And so like with those speakers on, they're kicking back through your microphone, giving a little echo.
If I can get these headphones.
If you get them plugged in and you can hear me. Can you hear me? I lost her now. Uh-oh. I lost her mic. We lost your mic altogether. We lost you altogether. We can't hear you now. Damn it. I'm trying to fix an echo and now I lost your mic.
Oh, wait. Hold on.
There you go. You're there now.
I think I hit mute.
Stop.
Sorry, still learning.
Well, you know what? The worst part about it is I never know, because people in chat will say there's an echo and then it'll end up being on their system alone. So that, it's obviously not that bad, but I could hear something in my own ears. So I was like, oh, I think I'm echoing through her microphone.
Let me see. Trying to just figure out how to get the.
You're good now, though.
I am.
Yeah. Do you have your headphones in?
No. I have them turned on. But
yeah, don't worry about it then. Forget it. If you can hear me fine, I can hear you fine. And half the people are saying there's no echo. That's why I can't even look at chat no more. I don't trust it. It's what happens in chat. So somebody will have a bad echo and they just need to reset their system, or everybody will have an echo. So, but they said we're good now. So I'm good.
Okay. Sorry.
No worries. It wasn't your fault. If you're going to do this webcasting, podcasting, if you're going to do any kind of anything over the web, you're going to have little technical difficulties, especially when we do stuff live. So it's not even weird to do it. So yeah, that the other question is why do you wanted whenever I put an ad out and looking for a co-host, what made you think you want to do this true crime stuff? Is that just because you've followed true crime stuff, or just do you go digging into it?
I do. I love it. I love watching court hearings from start to finish. I almost imagine myself like being on the jury.
Okay.
And if it's the court hearing's almost done or close to being done, I'll start at the first day and I'll go through and watch the entire trial, and then kind of come up, okay, well, this is what I think. We bring it back to work. We talk about it in our department. I mean, it's fun. It's fun. We all really enjoy it. People know up at work, what's case is going on now. And
gotcha.
So it brings like a fun entertainment,
So you have other friends that get involved in this. You're not the only one. You and your workers, the people you work with.
Yes, they I don't think they listen to it as much as I do or in depth, some of them do. My friend Angie does. But
How many
others will
people
kind
did
of
you
hop
send
on.
that link to? I sent you. Did you send any of your friends the link? Hey, I'm going on a podcast tonight.
Yes, they're all so supportive. Yes, we were talking. I had to work yesterday on Saturday, and I told them, and everybody was really, really excited. They're all so supportive, which
Fun.
is good. And they, they're always saying you should have been an attorney. Is what you should.
What do you think of
And
the criminal justice system with the stuff that you've watched and the different things? How do you feel about how the criminal justice system works?
gosh, I think it's broken in a lot of ways. But then and other times it works. It's just, I mean, just like, with that Crystal Lee, it's just such a shame that it happened that way with her. But then when you see people like getting sentenced, did you watch that Chris McNabb and Courtney Bell trial
I
in
didn't.
Georgia? So these two, it was a couple. So now if you ever want to like grab some popcorn and watch a show, like for
Yeah, for real.
this trial, they had to put a whole board up at the beginning with, names and how they're all connected, because there was some intertwining going on. So they had two children, Courtney and Chris, and they're actually first cousins, come to find out.
Okay, and this is in Georgia?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. And they were both very big into meth. And
Meth, first cousins, children.
Mm-hmm. First cousins, had two girls. And after the second baby was born, who was about, I think, 14 or 15 days old, she winds up just missing all of a sudden.
Okay.
They don't know where she is. The 2-year-old actually had to go and wake mom and dad up and say the baby is missing. So they called the police, and the dad like went off into the woods to look around. And I guess he used to bury things out in the woods. Well, come to find out, I think it was the next day or 2 days after, the baby was in the woods in his bag, wrapped in, I think, one of his shirts, and with horrible injuries. Like the little baby's brain liquefied with the blunt force trauma from being hit so hard. And then the adult teeth that were in the baby's mouth actually came through the gums, the adult teeth.
So like he like beat him so hard that like his adult teeth.
Yeah.
I mean,
Little
like,
baby girl. I think her name was Kalia.
Oh my
And
goodness.
yes, it was horrible.
When I read some of the stuff, or when I see any case, I mean, we had cases here where mom and boyfriend put their child in like a dog cage, and then he died, and then they concreted him in the dog cage and stuck him in a storage unit.
Mm-hmm.
Or it blows my mind that parents could even fathom that stuff in their own children's life, or in any child's life, or that anyone could do it to any child. But when you do it to your own children, it blows my mind. It doesn't make any sense, no logic sense,
Yeah, that's like that case here in Texas. I think it was in Plano or Dallas or McKinney, somewhere. There was the couple who adopted that little girl from India. Her name was Sharon Matthews, and her dad, Wesley, she got killed. She was, I think, 2, and he killed her. But the parents had gone out to dinner the night before she supposedly went missing, and they didn't take her with them. They took their biological daughter, but they left the adopted daughter supposedly at home by herself. So then They go home and go to bed. The next day, wake up, oh, the daughter's missing. Then the police arrive, and the dad's like, well, I put her outside last night at 3 a.m. because she wasn't drinking her milk as a punishment. And then she was just gone. And then it changed to she choked on her milk. And so then they found her body like in a little ditch.
Oh my
like
gosh.
weeks later. Yeah. And he had killed her. And so that affected a lot of the adopting, agencies with India and everything. Wow, it
Absolutely.
just trickles down.
It's
And I think
crazy.
the mom was a nurse as well.
Man, these nurses
had
are
broken
crazy.
bones. She had bruises all the time. I mean, there's some horrible, horrible parents. If you can even call them that, really.
Yeah, I just don't. I think those are just predators at some point,
Yeah.
right? Like, especially in that thing. But there's some crazy nurses in the world, though. There's
Yeah, there
a
are.
lot of different, like, I think both like on that verge, those nurses live on that verge of protecting life. And then there's those other ones that like to watch it disappear, like
Mhm.
they don't take enjoyment out of it, but there is something in them when someone dies. They want to be around that. So I mean, good, bad, or indifferent, it helps them do their job or whatever. But I just know that that's a crazy. A lot of nurses are involved in different crimes, or at least it seems that way. I don't know.
Absolutely.
So what are your goals? What are you up to? What do you want to see in a podcast? What do you want to see happen? If
I
you
would like to start a whole new channel and really come together as a team and see where it leads. I think it would be a lot of fun. I think focusing on either cases that are unsolved or that, were solved, kind of like the one you're doing now with Lindy or Wendy.
Mindy
Mindy
Lee.
Lee. Is it Mindy Lee?
Yeah, Mindy Lee.
Mindy Lee.
Yeah, Mindy Lee.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a crazy one.
And I saw the picture of her feet. That bothered me, I think, the most, because with the way they were saying that she was walking, how did her feet not have any breaks or scratches at all? Like,
no, that's like the obvious one. Like, everybody can look at that and go, "Hey, what happened here?" Because even if the short distance really wasn't that far from the point that they said she ran off to the point where she was found, is really not that far, like 500, 800 yards, not even, it's not that far as like the bird flies. Now, for her to get to where she was at, she would have had to come from a couple of different angles or a couple of different spots. But yeah, just the feet alone, just the pictures of her feet. The fact that they say she kicked off her shoes. So like, not only did she kicked off tennis shoes and went running, and then they have these shoes of hers, but then when you have her feet, it just doesn't line up to, she kicked off her shoes and then ran across this field or walked. Even in walking that kind of distance, I doubt she just ran to that one spot. I don't think in any way, shape, or form she got to that spot other than getting placed there. Like, that's just my there's nothing else that's going to say, oh, she ran here and tried to hide. She ran here and was hiding from something. I don't even like entertain the thought that she ran there. She got placed there.
Yeah.
And the feet are just one, right? That's just the one indicator. There's so many other things that indicate that she got placed there. The barrels were on top of her. The fact that they had searched the area. So
yeah,
it's a wild. That one is crazy. I'm actually, if things work out, I'm supposed to speak with somebody who really knew Mindy really well in a point in her life, and was very close when all this went down, and came out here and searched with the family and and tried to do right. And so, like, to learn more about Mindy and about her life is important to me, and also just to hopefully bring somebody's got to come out.
I know.
Because the evidence isn't going to solve it. So, yeah, the Mindy Lee case is starting to get closer and closer to the heart.
Mom,
sure.
you know, 10 years ago to be already proactive, recording all of that.
She didn't believe what they were telling her.
I know. I wouldn't either.
She went definitely above and beyond.
I'm interested to see how that case that the new one with the is it Ortiz?
Yeah, like Ortiz or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, that's like right up your alley because it's a lot of the interrogation.
Yes.
It's a lot of that long form 2.5 hour interrogations.
Yes, so. I like looking at their body language. I'm analyzing it all.
Yeah, what do you think? Have you watched both or 2 or 3 of those that I put out? What did you think about those? What did you think about the interviews?
I think that Kim, is that her name?
Yep.
I think she was for sure really trying to put the blame on Cody and off of Steven. I think she knew Steven had a lot more to do with it, but I think because she loved him and she was just in protecting mode, so she was going to try and smooth it over as much as she could.
Yeah.
I think she was going to try and diminish his role and put it off on the other guy. I'm not saying he didn't have anything to do with it, of course, but I think that she knew that I think Steven was going to get in trouble, but I think she was going to try to diminish his role as much as she could to get him, the least amount of time. But I wonder if she did talk to Mindy.
Well, no. So like I guess after talking with Vicky a little bit and understanding kind of the connections between these two, Michelle Kimberly, her name's Kimberly, they call her on the thing. So Kimberly, who we saw in those videos, actually was friends with the Kim that Mindy was friends with. So they're not the same person. So
okay,
Mindy was with a different Kim the night she disappeared. But that same Kim is also friends with this other Kimberly. And if you understand the connection, the Shannon, who was with the man, Shannon, and Kim, they were both known drug people. And if you listen to the conversations and what's happening at these houses when they're talking, these are known drug people.
Right.
The bar that they're talking about, so like if you, not you, but a lot of people who follow Dad with the Phone know that I've been working on an art project on an area called the Knob Hill, and it's in downtown Colorado Springs. Knob Hill is a very rough, crazy place. The bar that they're actually talking about being at and all this stuff, the neighborhood in which all this kind of went down in, is right there in the Knob Hill area. And so it's just a real bad area. You know that these drug entities, either Kim and Shannon and Kim and Steven, or Kim and Coit, or Kim and they call him Cody, and they call Levi Eli. They're just using different names and stuff like that. They probably knew each other, and that's how the connection goes back to Mindy. Somehow Mindy found out about this murder, but you're going to find out that Kim was talking to a lot of people, and you kind of got that impression a little bit. Because there's about 4 or 5 other little video and interviews that they're like, oh, Kim told us this, and so I haven't even played those yet. I was teasing about those before when I was like, well, if Courtney doesn't get the link and doesn't show up, I'm going to just play a Mindy video. But no, so yeah, that whole case is crazy.
It is. And right away when she walked in there, when I was hoping they would leave them alone in the interrogation room you know?
And just let them chat it out.
Yes, it was too quick of an exchange. I wanted it to last a little bit longer. But she immediately was like, when he said, someone let him know everything, she's like, oh, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Well, he knows now, right?
Oh, yeah, he
Well,
does.
the thing is though, is her interview didn't put him in prison.
No,
It
no.
was Cody's Coit. It was his interview that actually happened later. Like that was the difference. Like her interview happened like 20 days later, right? It was in February. February 10th is when her interview went down. That's when Stephen was arrested.
Yeah.
His interview didn't happen until November. Like he got arrested too in February, and he was sitting in jail. And when we see him in November give this interview, that's his lawyer sitting there. He's already got all the, he's had time to put his story together, say exactly what he's going to say, and so, and then his charges were dropped a month before sentencing. So he talked his way out a lot. Like he was involved, and he even talks about, I was sitting there when the dude was sitting there beating him, and I went and got the truck and we put him in the truck. And, he tells the story a lot like KK tells the story of, I came down and helped clean up. I took the phone. I was there when they burned the body. So, a lot of times to get the one murderer, they let one go. And sometimes the people think, oh, well, what if Cody was the one who beat the guy? What if Cody just played him and was the one who did it, So
right.
It's a crazy one for sure.
It is. And
people have been freaking out on that. They're like, oh my goodness, these people are still around and you let that video out. I was like, oh well. Oops. But no, that's a crazy one. So well, what else? What else is so you've been wanting to get into podcasting, you're definitely into the true crime. You just can spit off them cases like right at the top of your head.
I know. I think, I don't know if it has to do with being in like healthcare. If, the cases that we're seeing are coming in right at the very end and caring for the patient. But it's like, I like to know all the information leading up to it, and maybe because we have to dig so deep into charting and the history of people, and that's where it's like built inside of me that I want to know, from start to finish how it happened, because I'm used to reading that as far as like information that we get for our patients. And so it really does intrigue me. But I mean, I like, I'll watch just regular YouTube as well. I watch, home decorating YouTube. And I mean, true crime isn't my whole life. I do take a break from it for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I like a lady named Traditions by the Season as her channel. She's so sweet. But I mean, I'll still watch a makeup tutorial. I'll go with a Jeffree Star or a Toddy any day too. I mean, you never know. I mean, they can tell you the next best mascara. So
there you go. So you got a couple of favorite YouTubers. Have you seen, being in Texas, did you guys blow up with the Heidi Brizard case, even though you're up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area?
Oh yeah. That's all over.
Mm-hmm. It was all over. Yeah.
All over.
That's a wild one.
Yeah, I was actually texting with my friends and I was like, oh my gosh, I think they just found, the friend. Cause I want to say I was listening to the J for Justice and I was on that computer typing that in and I was pulling up the records, like who owns that house, who lives there, and going to the Google Maps, and
you were getting in on it.
Yes. And then I was telling my friend, I said, I bet you it was this, there's got to be surveillance at that apartment. And I said, because they were wondering, how would they even connect the friend? I said, well, certainly surveillance, because she's probably driving a car. They got the license plate. They tracked that down, took them down to Houston, so it was all kind of unfolding live. And then we were just typing it in and going along for the ride.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting when the facts come out in that case and
Isn't that just horrible?
what happened. It's a crazy thought. Just again, somebody that knew her for 20 years
I
plus
know.
years, you know. Um, I mean, random stuff, a random baby being kidnapped or a random killing for a baby is almost easier to understand than somebody that it was in the delivery room with her,
I
you
know,
know.
because that's such a, emotional and special, sacred time. And to have somebody that that you love and care about in there, from what, I understand, like, Heidi really loved her. And to have that kind of betrayal and know that it was planned all along. And she didn't even throw away any of her evidence either, like leaving like
No.
that note on there and having Margot's name.
Well, yeah, part of me I feel like that's that psychotic something, like something snapped in her, right? That like something snapped and she lost it when this happened. And so I'll be real interested to see what happens in that first appearance and then
Mhm.
how they proceed through this court case. Because anyone who could, like, even us talking about it, we can sit here and say, oh, that's crazy, but like that's just not normal. There's something different. So it'll
Mhm.
be interesting to see how this one unfolds. Um, whether she goes to court, makes a plea deal, they plead insanity or something like that. So
Right.
it's one of those things. The more I'm hearing about Heidi, though, and it makes more sense to me. Like Heidi was friends with a lot of people. She had a lot of friends and was close with a lot of girls and just close to a lot of female. She had just
Mhm.
a lot of female friends, and a lot of her female friends felt like their best friend. They best friends with Heidi. They're best
Right.
friends, you know. And so, like, it wasn't just Megan. Heidi had friends all over the place and was really, it just shows you what kind of person she was, just to love on everybody.
I know.
She had friends of totally different walks of life. She had friends that did totally different things in their professional career and different things like that. And so, um, I understand how Heidi could have said, come to come to the hospital. I can also understand how Megan probably tried to manipulate her way there. Like
For
it,
sure.
it might not have been some, hey, Heidi just said, oh yeah, come, come to my delivery. It probably was a real manipulative way. And Heidi just obliged and loved on Megan and let her come. So,
Yeah.
it
She probably
sucks.
wanted in her mind, you almost think like because she wanted the immediate newborn photo, because in her mind, that's going to be her baby. She wants to be there and see her born. She wants that initial picture, quickly taking it out of granddad's hands, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
And like hindsight is all 2020. Like granddad they tell the story of, that she wanted that photo because she had to go, right? At the time, they probably didn't think anything other than, and then all of a sudden granddad was like, wait a minute, you
uh-huh,
know, and no, it's a super sad case. It's a sad case because it was brought into the spotlight super quickly, and then they pretty didn't solve it. They haven't solved it or haven't,
right.
no justice maybe, but all of a sudden it's it's crazy. It's a
I wonder
touchy.
how I guess, ex-boyfriend or slash boyfriend, father of the, made believe baby, the smell of the decomposing body. They were saying that when the police arrived, they could smell that right on property. And how was he not smelling that with it sitting right outside his back door? Or
Well, yeah.
if you're even aware, or that's strange to me too. If you're walking out to your car the back way, or I mean, to have that
No,
smell.
no, no. Yeah, not to know. If you don't know what a dead body smells like, yes, but just and he may have. The thing is we don't know. We don't know what he told the police, other
Yeah,
than the few statements that have been given to us. Like, that's the baby at my house. Like he said that to the police, and so, but when they when they did a lot of conversation with him. It wasn't just a, hey, is this the baby at your house? Okay, we're going to get her, you know. So
Oh,
like
right, right.
they questioned him a lot, and so he may have said, you know what, I smelled something, but it just didn't register. Nothing register didn't register with me.
Yeah,
You know, we live behind here, and or we've, you know, it could have been 100 things. Hey, you know, I've smelled junk in my neighbor's yard, or what. It could have been anything. He may have said something to them about the smell that
yeah,
we
that
don't
that just
know.
hasn't come out.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Those interviews, that's what I mean, it's cool, you know, we get that little quote, you know, where he says, that's the baby at my house.
Right.
And we think that that's all he said, you know,
Yeah.
or or how did they get to that quote, you know? And so I remember reading that going, everybody was looking at this going, how did he not know, you know? And they
Mm,
just give these little tidbits. So it'll be interesting though, because if it doesn't go to court, they've actually sealed the case. They
yeah.
sealed it and then they released some stuff, but they didn't release everything. And so if it goes to a plea deal, we'll at least get what they show the judge. Anything they show the judge, almost mandatory, has to be public. It has to be public record. If it's between the DA and the lawyers, that doesn't ever have to become public record. And so if they reach a deal based on information, it's one thing if the judge just approves it. If the judge says, well, I need to see some more info before I approve this deal, then if they show the judge that info, it becomes public record. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out in that case for sure.
Yeah. It's tempting being so close to Austin. I might have to make the trip if it goes to
If
trial.
it goes to trial, I'm making the trip, and I
Yeah.
live in Colorado. So if it goes to trial, I'm definitely planning. My sisters live there in Dallas Fort Worth area, and so I'll just be like, we'll go stay there for a second. Y'all can watch the kids, and me and Nikki are going. Me and Nikki are going to Austin. So
Yeah, really.
it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. So that's fun. So, well, sweet. I like it. You know, if we would have started on time, we'd only be going for about 5 more minutes. We'd be at an hour. We started a little bit later. What else do you want to tell the people listening, people that are into this? Why, why a co-host with Dad with a Phone? Or I would encourage you to start your own podcast right away. I would not even I would think that you probably have enough chops that you could kick off a solo podcast for yourself. But then why do a co-host thing?
I I don't necessarily want it all on my shoulders. And I want somebody who also has knowledge, and you do. You know, you have subscribers, you have a following.
Gotcha.
You know a lot of things that I don't, for sure. Um, I think I can bring a different view to the viewers as well, even just with having the medical experience too. And I think that I feel like our personalities would work well together.
You're
Uh,
fun.
yeah, yeah. I want to keep it lighthearted, but I want to, just be able to have a good conversation and talk about what's actually going on. And um, I mean, it's exciting to be able to reach a lot of people. And it's hard to start something on your own all by yourself, and with two people, it's a lot easier.
Get a little bit more motivation. Absolutely. There's
Yeah.
definitely a commitment. There's more of a deal on that. So, well, fun. Well, I actually am going to go into a phone call pretty quickly. I got a text, but I want to thank you for coming
Yeah.
on.
Dig that information for all of us. We're all anxious to hear.
Yeah, no, for real. But thanks for coming on tonight. And
Thank you so much for having me. It
it's
was
awesome.
very exciting. Very exciting.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, I'll be in touch as we go through this. I got more people coming on over the next couple of days, but I definitely will be in touch and
Okay.
encourage you to, yeah, just start thinking about it as whatever, even if it's not with me or if it's with someone else, or if you figure it out on your own. But if it works out with me, I'll be super stoked, and we'll
Yeah.
go from there. So
Yeah. It would be very exciting. Very exciting.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Courtney. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you for all of your viewers for letting me join in on your time with, because I know they cherish your channel as much as I do. So, thanks for letting me slide in and have
Oh,
some time. And, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
absolutely. Thank you, Courtney. We'll talk to you later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Down two. Man, that was a good one. I love it. She's way more like analytical. I could tell that she had dug into some cases. She knew details just off the top of her head cases. That's brilliant stuff right there. It's able to bring in a different aspect, a different flow. She thinks about those things. She's been, even as I was spitting out cases, how did the ex-boyfriend not smell this? And even though I had thought about it and kind of gone through that, I had, that's what everybody else is thinking too. So brilliant. We got some craziness. Man, it's going to get difficult is what's going to end up happening, because I have a feeling they're just going to continue. They're all. Chrissy was awesome. I've actually texted Chrissy, told her some of the same things I told this lady, Courtney. Start a podcast, start your own, start talking about this, start talking about that. So I still would encourage that. But again, I understand totally the whole, it's easier to build with someone and partner up. That's why the heck I'm doing it. I think it does carry a conversation. It does make an hour feel like 5 minutes sometimes. So that's awesome. This has been, episode 2 of trying to find a co-host, both of which people are pumped for. People have messaged me and said, Chrissy, I've watched the chat here today, Courtney, and so as we go through this over the next couple of days, it's going to get real interesting, because I have a couple more on Monday. I got a couple more throughout the middle of the week and then into Friday. So I'm stoked. I want to stay pumped. I stay open-minded, let it kind of conversation just flow wherever, go into some crime, talk about some personal stuff, figure a little bit more out about each one of them. Again, I thought about this in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep, and I kept having co-host 2020, get a co-host 2020. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm looking for a co-host. Thanks for joining Dad with a Phone. If you're a first-time listener and you're like, what's going on? You can go over to all my links at the bottom of the screen. And you can find me on TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. I do a lot of broadcasting from Facebook. Today is Sunday. This week, we've got a complete lineup of true crime stuff, from the Patrick Frazee, Crystal Lee Kinney, Kelsey Barrett case, to the Levi Ortiz case, to the Mindy Lee case, to a couple other cases that I haven't even touched, but I'm right there about to grab hold of. So thanks for watching. If you want to support Dad with the Phone, you can always support. That's my PayPal link. I tell people that's like a little bucket. If you liked what you listened to, you could throw some change in the bucket. My change just happens to be, or my bucket just happens to be that PayPal account. So don't think of that any different than like a street performer in New Orleans that you sit there and listen to his music and you throw some change in the bucket. If you want to throw change in the bucket, you can do that at the PayPal link below. Thanks for watching Dad with a Phone. You guys are awesome. As always, I may be back in a little bit. I got a phone call I got to get on, and we'll go from there. We'll see you.